telescope, is it? It's not.
That is on us, dude.
Well, if there's
Look at that thing.
it's rotating.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to Robert Kiviat's Objects Unknown. Today we have one of the most controversial UFO videos ever shown to the public anywhere. It involved a case that the New York Times wrote about, first on their online site back in late 2017, and actually it became one of the most popular videos on their online site. As well, it was a front page article in the newspaper itself. It involves a case that allegedly the military was involved in UFO studies, starting out in 2004, allegedly, that there was a sighting of UFOs during the Nimitz battle group maneuvers. And basically in 2004, supposedly, these pilots encountered these tic-tac shaped UFOs, 50 foot long, 25 foot wide. Imagine, they look like tic-tac candies, flying around the skies, over the ocean, showing maneuvers that no one had ever seen before, apparently anti-gravity propulsion, some kind of unbelievable technology, and the idea was maybe they were alien. Now, the New York Times, on their online page, showed two videos. The first was supposedly from 2004, showing this tic-tac UFO, and then they also showed a second video that was called the Gimbal video. It had the name Gimbal, and they said that was from the same exact event. But right away, I noticed it looked so different. One video appeared to come from a different era, really 2004, and the second video seemed to come from a more modern camera. So the more we looked into it, myself and other researchers, we realized something wasn't right. But a guy named Mick West at Metabunk, a very popular skeptical site on the internet, he started to do a lot of research. And he found out that this Gimbal video was called Gimbal, likely because the camera, which is made by Raytheon, that's a company that makes aerospace and other type of equipment, cameras really for the aerospace industry, that this camera has a device on it and it can rotate the image a lot. So the pilots that shot this video are heard in the background saying, "Oh, look, it's rotating, amazing." But they also say something else. One of the pilots says, "Oh, it's a bleeping drone."
Dude, there's a fucking drone, bro. There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the SA.
So right away, it was so confusing because one, the New York Times got it wrong. The two videos were not from 2004. The second video was more modern. It looked more like present day. Well, a lot of research was done by people that I know, and finally they came up with the fact, as it turns out, that was shot in 2015 over the coast of Florida, not over the West Coast, which is where the other one was allegedly shot, near San Diego. So what you really have here is the New York Times not getting the story right at all. A lot of other news organizations also picked up the wrong story. But when the Gimbal video was finally analyzed by Mick West, he could determine that it looked like an artifact. It looked like that the gimbal device was causing this image to rotate, and that's not what the actual craft was doing.
Dave has been looking into this for a while, trying to duplicate the effects using FLIR equipment, very similar to that used in the Gimbal video. One of the last videos he put up shows him following a small jet, and when he switches to infrared we get this shape, a saucer shape with protrusions similar to the gimbal shape.
So the question of whether or not this was really an amazing video showing a UFO, maybe an alien craft, rotating basically while it's flying over the ocean or through the skies, it turns out that probably is not the case. The most research shown right now seems to indicate that it was indeed an artifact of the camera and the camera equipment. So when you look at the fact that the pilot said, "Oh, it's a bleeping drone," one wonders what this is. Well, a few people have come out now saying this might be an entire hoax created by some military industrial complex guys, some guys that left the military, were looking for a new gig, wanted to work in the TV and film industry, and basically that information comes out now more and more as the research is being done. So there was a new show on just Friday night, May 31, 2019, on the History Channel. And they premiered it with these people coming out from the government that claimed they were really in the know about these videos. it's looking more and more like some kind of an operation to confuse the public. So back to the Gimbal video. When you compare the imagery that was captured allegedly by these Navy pilots to what test video seems to show, you can emulate exactly what happened using the same equipment that was used on the plane. Now, you can compare the images literally, side by side, and it looks a lot like an engine giving off thermal heat, because these cameras are thermal. They're basically picking up the heat signature of the craft or the engine. Now, why would they conflate or mix up the idea of this video being an artifact and call it a UFO or maybe even something from outer space? I'm not quite sure what that's all about, but when you see the name Gimbal given by the Navy, apparently, you have to wonder. They were giving a huge hint. To add more to the story, I just heard last night a top CIA guy who recently retired. He said he thinks this is a grandiose hoax involving these individuals. He has a full knowledge of who they are. And he said basically recently to a top expert I know that this is going to turn out to be one of the biggest hoaxes ever perpetrated on the public, involving, amazingly, former military people, scientists, people from the aerospace industry. And believe it or not, there's mounting evidence this video was created with the help of special effects as well. And one has to wonder, does the History Channel even understand this?
They tracked 100 of these things. This is real. Wake up.
Now this guy who stars in the show, his name is Lou Elizondo. He's portrayed as a former military guy, but research shows he seems to have been nothing more than a private contractor, not a Pentagon official. So why would he have access to this kind of material? Let me know what you think. Take a look at the video. Look at the comparisons done by the researchers that I'm aware of and I work with. Take a look. Let me know your thoughts, and be sure to subscribe. Take a look at what's on this channel every Tuesday night. It'll be me, Robert Kiviat, on Objects Unknown, and we're going to keep on this story. This story is going to be evolving as that series continues on history, and there may be future updates coming. I'm pretty sure of that. Take care.